So okay, how do we feel about McDaniels backing out at the last second? Because this is how I look at it. He gave the impression to everybody that he was gonna come to Indy, and he got all of these coaches there, and they all stayed because they thought that they were getting McDaniels, and he's like, you know what, I'm good, and they all are there because of him.
Exactly.
So it's like he set them up, and he's like, whoosh, and he was like, I'm out, and then they're stuck there because of him. Because he said, I'm going to be there.
And they signed contracts.
Yeah, everything's done.
Yeah.
And credit the coach, you know, I mean, I give a lot of, you know, Ursay and Valley, you know, they're going to keep those guys on. They're not just going to, you know. Since McDaniels left, yeah, you got all you guys got to go to.
Yeah. I do like Chris Ballard. I think he was a really good signing for them, honestly, coming from Kansas City. But, yeah, I mean, that was wild. I can't think of another coaching job that happened like that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw Bill Belichick and Bill Parcells 30 for 30 years.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the New York Jets named Belichick head coach twice.
Yeah.
And he never coached a game with them. I don't even know if he.
Well, that's the Jets, so I mean.
That is true. But I mean, it's definitely happened before.
I mean, didn't happen with Saban when he was when he was with the what is that he was with? He was like, I'm not taking the job at Alabama.
Dolphins.
He said, I'm home at Miami. Or
and then like,
then
goes there.
Yeah, because, you know,
Saban,
yeah.
But going back to your question, how you feel about it? I mean, if you ask me, it makes McDaniels look extremely bad.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, I would never give Josh McDaniels another head coach football job ever, just for this reason. Now, he's done got these coaches together, and now he's done uprooted these guys' families.
Yeah.
They're getting kids out of school, they're getting wives losing jobs that they have. Well, I don't know. You never know how those situations work. Being a coach's wife, you know, some of those people, they get enough money.
Yeah.
Most spouses don't work. But, and then you also got, you know, like I said, all the people he brings in, I mean, that's a slap in the face.
Yeah, exactly.
One, it's a slap in the face to the coach. Two, it's a slap in it makes you look bad on your own. Mm-hmm. And then to make it all worse, it looks like, you know, it's the whole New England thing.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's probably the only head coaching job he's going to get now is when Belichick potentially retires. But, I mean, there's a lot of...
He definitely could have just shot himself in the foot, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Probably not. There's no guarantee he's going to get that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's no guarantee. But as far as, like, my feelings on it as well, I think, honestly, this would have made the Titans dodge a real big bullet. I think because at first, like you said, when reports first came out that Malarkey was gone, it was like, okay, McDaniels is like one of the favorites to land his job.
Yeah.
And it turns out he didn't even stay in Indy. So I just think I see it as like it's a gift from God for like the Titans, in my opinion, because that easily could have happened to Tennessee.
And I'm gonna get on that too, because apparently when the Bears were interviewing, they interviewed Matt Nagy and like McDaniels and everybody else like pretty fast. Mm-hmm. And so they liked McDaniels, and apparently McDaniels was blown away by the presentation the Bears gave about it. And so the Bears, but there were reports coming out, the Bears kind of felt like, okay, he likes us, but they were hinting, they had a feeling process of they're like, hold on, he's not 100% guaranteed in with us, so therefore we're going with Nagy. And Ballard, that's who Ballard's first choice was. Yeah, it was Nagy. And then it became McDaniels, and now it's Frank Reich. Now, thing with this is McDaniels, I mean, it's just like I said, Titans definitely dodged. I think any team dodged a bullet, because then you put a team in a big hellhole when they can't, you know, have their exact same play or that coach they want. But another thing is, I was thinking, you know, at the time, maybe it was just Andrew Luck.
That's what I'm saying. I really think that's what it is McDaniels went down there and said, you know what? I get to work with Andrew Luck. He's a franchise quarterback when he's healthy. I'm happy. I'm going to Indy. And then he gets down there and they say, hey, we haven't told the masses what's wrong with Andrew Luck, but this is what's wrong with Andrew Luck. And it was a lot worse than what he was expecting.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is he went down there because he wanted to work with Andrew, and his injury is really, really bad, and he might not be back anytime soon. And that was the thing that swayed him back to New England.
Yeah. I mean, because when I was watching the NFL Network this morning, the only thing that I really saw they had any update about Andrew Luck, they said recovery is slow, but it's going in the right direction. But it's the fact that it's sort of taking slow, it's like he'd be ready. Like they say, he won't require another surgery. So I mean, that's good. They say he won't require another surgery, which is it's good. I don't really wish that on a quarterback at all. But I think like I said, there may be something that he alluded to. It's just like, dang, well, one bad tackle can mean the whole season.
Yeah, because they even said it last season. They're like, this is something he can recover from, but it could very well be career-ending if it gets any worse.
I mean, it's almost kind of like, now, I think, man, he didn't tear his labrum, but I mean, Luck has a torn labrum and it's something that's dealing with his neck too. That's
the neck is the bad part.
Yeah, that's the more. But even then, like a torn labrum, pitchers get it all the time in baseball. Like, and it's just hard to recover from. Like, you're not gonna have the same zip on it or anything. It's almost like when people tear their Achilles. Like, it's just not there anymore. I've known people who torn their labrum. They're just like, it's completely different. Like, it's nowhere near the same how it used to be. But their biggest thing is, if Andrew Luck isn't there, I mean, are they now looking at a potential quarterback? That probably tell a lot if they draft a quarterback.
I think so. Because if they take a quarterback in the top 3 rounds, I think they're looking at it and saying Andrew Luck is not where we want him to be.
I mean, they got about 2 months, about 2.5. About 2 months to figure out what's going on with Luck, and they got the 3rd pick in the draft. They could easily take one of the top ones if they feel like it.
That would be a shocker, to be honest.
I think that would say Andrew Luck's done.
Yeah, because if they, and I don't think they will, but if they end up taking up a quarterback 3rd, you can pretty much count Andrew Luck's days, to be honest, because that right there shows that they're willing to invest a 1st-round pick, something with as much power as a 1st-round pick in a quarterback. It definitely shows that he's not ready, or he's not going to be ready anytime soon.
And then let Bradley Chubb fall a little bit longer.
Hey, Bradley Chubb is a stud. I mean, that man is an animal. He's not falling to us. There's no way, but he might fall to y'all.
That's what I'm hoping. It's not Bradley Chubb. I want the big lineman out of Notre Dame.
McGlinchey or
no.
Nelson.
Quentin
Nelson, the guard. Titans been wanting him too, but that's not happening either.
No, he just ain't falling.
No, not that far.
Both of them probably might go top 10, but
okay. So let's talk about Frank Reich.
There you go.
Got it. All right, 1 for 3. I'll take it. Better than nothing. Frank Reich. He was a quarterback in the NFL from 85 to 98. He played with Buffalo for most of his career, so Bills Mafia are very familiar with him. He was also there for the 4 years in a row where they lost the Super Bowl.
And also, if you want to know, he was actually part of the greatest comeback in NFL history. The 32-point game against the Oilers.
Yeah.
So Titans got that against their side.
Yeah.
That's still their foundation.
That is. I think so. I think that's the one that killed the Oilers, man.
Yeah. And he's going back to pretty much where he started his NFL coaching career to Indy. He coached for them for 6 years. 2 of them was as an intern and 4 of them was as an offensive assistant. And he also has ties to San Diego, where he was an OC, and Philly, obviously, in 2016. So, how do we feel about Frank Reich compared to Josh McDaniels?
Well, I like exactly what he said, because apparently, I don't know if his press conference was today or if it was yesterday, but, he came out and said that, I've always been a backup in life. So he's used to, not being the number 1 guy for, a specific team or player or whatever he's been. But actually, I think it could end up being a good hire for the coach. I like to see, he's kind of like Matt LaFleur. Like, I want to see what he's going to do with the playbook. Because he was, like LaFleur, he was under Sean McVay. He wasn't calling the plays. Frank Reich, he wasn't calling plays for Doug Peterson. Now, what got me was John DeFilippo was getting most of the head coaching gigs, all the talks, and people skipped over Frank Reich. Like, they weren't even looking.
There's got to be a reason.
Wright, we don't want Frank Reich. Like, and this is back-to-back years. Frank Reich's been the OC, but John DeFilippo was always getting the name. So that's the only kind of like, I got the little warning flag up about it.
I agree. And, the thing about it is, like you said, he doesn't even call plays for Philly most of the time.
He's stepping in to be a head coach.
Yeah. And he's never coached any defensive side of the ball at all either. He's only been on the offensive side.
Yeah, that might not be the only. You hire a defensive coordinator, then
right. Well, just me personally, I would like my coach to have a little bit of experience.
At least know a little bit.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're an offensive guru like John Gruden, I guess it's not that big of a deal. Obviously, since he got paid. But me personally, I would like my head coach to have a little bit of both. And Frank Reich, as far as we can tell, all he's done is he was an intern, he was an offensive assistant, and an OC, and he coached wide receivers for the Falcons for 1 year, which was weird. Out of nowhere, he just randomly.
Well, I mean, there's some. I mean, he could have signed on, and then that could have been the year they had a turnover. Mike Smith. Smith's last name? No head coach he used to have
For
Falcons. I think it's Mike Smith.
I can't remember.
Somebody, older white guy that they used to have.
Oh, Mike McCoy. There you go.
No,
yeah.
Mike McCoy.
He coached under Jim Caldwell, Tony Dungy, Mike McCoy, Doug Peterson.
When did Mike McCoy coach at?
He coached at he coached at Denver. I know that.
But anyway, I was just saying, you know, it could have been one of those 1 year deals where, and then the coach man got fired. That's the only reason. But I mean, if he didn't coach under the other guy, then.
And he coached under Ken Wisenhunt.
Oh,
so Titans definitely have a lot of experience with someone that has horrible coaching philosophies, but for whatever reason is nicknamed the Wiz. I can't get behind that nickname at all, but that's just me. I'm just saying. Ken Wisenhunt is not a good coach. Period.
Yeah, we experienced that. But as far as I want to see, like I said, I want to see how he's gonna implement his offensive philosophy into into the Colts offense. It's like, do you have the weapons for it?
No,
I mean,
no.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you got Jack Doyle and T.Y. Hilton. I mean,
don't sleep on T.Y.
I ain't smart. That's why I got to mention him. He's gonna get off.
You're not gonna sleep on T.Y. But that's another thing. McDaniels.
And they're losing Moncrief.
Yeah, that hurts too.
Ooh. I don't know if he's
well, he's not that. He's all right. He's average. Yeah, he's a good depth.
If he catches the ball, man, hey,
yeah,
watch out.
Yeah. But this is another thing with McDaniels. Going back to that, you look at New England, all this talent. You got the greatest quarterback of all time. Even though you might not like him, he is. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah.
You've got tons and tons of skill positions. You got the greatest head coach of all time in Bill Belichick. You've got a pretty, not great defense, but you've got talent on defense like Dante Hightower, and that defensive line is crazy too. And then you go and compare that to Indianapolis.
And that's a complete.
It's like
night and day.
I mean, I don't understand.
And my thing is, he probably also saw, like, even if Luck is coming back fully healthy, Luck has everything legit on his shoulders.
Yeah,
it's just him and T.Y.
on his labrum.
Yeah, and that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think, if they have no offensive line, they have no running game, they have no defense. Like, legit, only thing they got outside of those two guys is Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, I mean, that's it.
And
Malik Hooker, but he's a rookie that got hurt, so he's coming up. Yeah, so
and then one of the best, Pat McAfee, the best punter. You arguably he's the best player on the team.
I don't understand. Like, the only logical thing I can think of why McDaniels would want to go to Indy is because of Andrew Luck. And it makes sense. If that was the tipping point why he went back to New England, that makes complete sense why he would want to go to Indianapolis.
It's a big risk. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah. And then Frank Rick comes in and Reich. Sorry. 1 for 4. Let's keep it tab. 1 for 4.
1 for 4. Okay. I like
so he's going to Indianapolis. He's got Andrew Luck to maybe work with, and he's got T.Y. and Jack Doyle, and that's it. Indianapolis is in a very bad spot, in my opinion. And not just because Frank Rick is a terrible coach, but because they have no talent at all. And T.Y. is what, 28, 29?
If he's not 27 or 28, he's
getting up there.
In the league in a while. I mean,
now, Jack Doyle's younger. I think he's like 25 or 26. But T.Y. is almost out, so they better start drafting.
Yeah.
Like, they better start doing something.
Yeah, Frank Gore ain't getting no.
No.
28.
You can't rely on Frank Gore
no more
in the near future. You just can't.
I think he'll
he is 28. That's what. Okay, yeah. So I was right. He is 28. The Indianapolis Colts are not trending in the direction you want to be trending at all. And this hire, I'm not going to say it's going to hurt them, but I don't think it's going to help them that much either. And like you said, going back to his philosophy, what is his philosophy on offense? We don't know because he doesn't call plays. If he brings the Philly offense and says we're going to go spread, we're going to put 4 guys on the outside, we're going to do all of this kind of crazy, wacky, all that kind of stuff, then maybe. But and if Andrew Luck can stay healthy, it might work because he's got natural born talent. He's just that good.
Yeah. I don't even know they can run that because they don't have
the personnel. Yeah, it goes back to the personnel. They don't have it.
And Jack Doyle's 27. He's gonna be 28.
Yeah, so he's almost as old as T.Y.
Yeah, I mean, his birthday's on 2nd of March this year.
So,
well, not this year.
I mean, like, I don't know what they're gonna do in the near future, but they got to pull something together because this hire is it's not necessarily a bad hire, but they just don't have the talent. And Chris Ballard, like I said, I like him as a GM. I think he did a phenomenal job, especially in Kansas City. And he's known to make a lot of big moves and stuff like that. But I just don't see it. I don't think this hire is going to spark them to get them back in the race, even in the AFC South. Because the AFC South is going to be tough next year.
Loaded.
I mean, it's not like everybody wants to call it the worst division.
It's not.
Football. It's not no more.
Yeah, no.
You got Deshaun Watson coming back, J.J. Watts coming back for Houston. I'm sure Merciless is probably still going to be under contract there. You got Clowney. That defense is going to be ready to rumble. You got Jacksonville, the whole thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe Bortles does shoot up again. Wind up taking it off again. And then you got Titans, on in. That's not going to be a pushover team. Titans swept the Colts for the first time in who knows how long.
So Jags.
And swept them Jags.
Yeah, got them too.
Yeah.
And
even if you don't want to look at Blake Bortles from the Jags, that team,
good.
Very good. Yeah, like I could very well see them taking the division again.
And especially they get AR-15 back.
Yeah.
And if they let him walk, I hope they do.
I don't think they will, but
I mean, there ain't been much talks out of that camp either.
Ooh,
so there's a jump. You never know. He could be.
He wants that. He wants that guala.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
Chicago, we got you, man. We're gonna bring you in later.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Is like, but it's like the Colts. I don't see them being competitive anytime soon. They're I can say it right now, and I can almost put any amount of money on it. They're going to be the last team in the division this year. Even with Andrew Luck, I still think they're the worst team in the division.
He's the only reason they'll be able to pull out anything. I mean, Jacoby Brissett's not a bad quarterback.
He's not, but
I mean, he's not good. But he's not. I mean, he's
not the worst quarterback I've seen.
No, that's nothing against Brissett. It's just the team as a whole just doesn't have it. And I don't think that this hire is going to change very much, to be honest. Especially since he's never called plays. Well, I mean, he might, but not on a every play consistent level. And he's going to want to come in there and call plays because he hasn't been able to do that in Philly. So I have a feeling that he's definitely going to want to, and I don't think it's going to happen. So quick little topic to get us into our next major topic, which is Georgia and the dynasty they've got going on. Johnny Football. This isn't going to be a long thing. I was a big fan of Johnny Football in college.
Me too. I know.
One of the most electrifying quarterbacks to ever watch. I think that's a fair statement. But he can never keep his head on straight. And then he went to the pit of misery, dilly Cleveland Browns coming out of college. So hasn't played since 2015. XFL.
I mean,
I could see Vince saying, "Hey, look, we want people watching our games, so we're going to go out and we're going to get big name quarterbacks. We're going to get ex-NFL guys. We're going to go get guys that may be hurt, but whatever." I can see him going to get them, or maybe somebody like Johnny Football. Maybe somebody like Kaepernick. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe not, but or like RG3. Exactly, yeah, RG3. I mean. Maybe he doesn't, but Vince McMahon is all about the spectacle and all about the entertainment value of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to get some old NFL guys.
Well, I'll say this. One, Vince McMahon has already come out and said he doesn't want anybody with a criminal record on their thing.
Yeah,
so
but
that's what's going to screw him over. Because that's what Johnny Manziel's already out of it. So that wouldn't be able to happen. But Manziel will be 27 by the time the league kicks off. Kaepernick's probably not going to join because he'll be 32 at that point.
That's true, too.
So, I mean, you got some age because they're not starting until 2020. So you got
that's true too.
You got a long time, and then well, we know Manziel might be back in a little pit.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been diagnosed with bipolar, so there's a good chance that he could end up.
Supposedly, he's good now.
Yeah,
supposedly
he's been 6 months sober, so
we'll see.
But
I mean, there's a lot of talks he could be doing this year.
I think that's the best move for him.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, but I just thought it could be.
It's a fun topic.
Yeah, I mean, why not? All right, so the next thing that I was wanting to talk about is Georgia. Just to start this up a little bit, I had a conversation with somebody at work yesterday. I work at a sports retail store, and he is a Tennessee fan, which I am too. But oddly enough, he felt it was necessary to take shots at Tennessee and then talk good about Alabama and LSU and whatnot, which is fine, whatever. But it just didn't make any sense. And then he quizzed me on Tennessee knowledge, which I also thought was weird, but whatever. So I said Alabama's clearly at the top of the SEC. I think that's fair to say. But I did say Georgia is hot on their heels right now. And the reason why I say that is #1 recruiting class in the nation this year. They're currently #1 in the nation next year. They've already got three 5-stars and 4 4-stars for next year. Kirby Smart has proven to be a phenomenal coach. He's going up against Nick Saban and almost beating him in the national championship. They're the favorites to win the East already this season. I think that's by far. The only team that's going to give me any problems is maybe Florida, but I don't see that happening because they don't have a quarterback.
They never have a quarterback. That's my
for
problem.
whatever reason, all the talent in Florida, they can't get one quarterback. Doesn't make any sense.
Bama's actually had that problem too. They've never been able to
they got Tua now, so they're not worried about it.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts got to be out.
But supposedly Hurts is going to play H-back, which I don't know if that's confirmed or not. I know Zach, if he's still watching, is an Alabama fan, so he can probably tell us about that. But, yeah, so I think Georgia is very well on their way to being a dynasty in college football. They're killing the recruiting trail right now. Kirby is definitely proven to be probably the best coach Nick Saban's ever had under him. I don't see Georgia falling off a cliff anytime soon. How do y'all feel about that?
I agree. Like I said, they're nipping at their heels. The talent in Georgia is going to be there. Just with their recruiting class coming in, it's like, let's see. Zach.
He said recruiting class ranking isn't the most important. A good coach will make a 3 or 4-star look like a 5-star, and a bad coach. He's very well right on that. Butch Jones is the perfect example of it. Yeah. I completely agree with that. Mm-hmm. Recruiting is pretty much based on potential, which I understand. But this year, Georgia stood toe-to-toe with Bama. And they're probably going to do it next year, too. They're going to dominate the East, I think. Unless something crazy happens, they're going to dominate the East this year. Man, this team is very talented. And they're gonna lose some guys in the NFL, and they're going to load back up. Like Roquan Smith, he's going to be gone in the first round. They're going to load back up. They've got talent. Right. And weapons on the outside also. And Jake Fromm is a freshman, and he was balling last season.
Yep.
So
my thing is like Zach said, recruiting's not the biggest thing in the world. I mean, it's nice to have, hey, it's something, it's like that all-season trophy going. Hey,
and Butch Jones.
Like you said, Butch Jones, they got a lot of top 10 classes these last few years, and they do squat with it.
Right.
I mean, you got to think, he didn't recruit Josh Dobbs to the name Falls. That wasn't him. That was who was before him?
Dooley.
Dooley got Dobbs in there. So you saw what happened when Butch Jones had Peterman and Justin Worley. They ain't do nothing. Because they were terrible quarterbacks.
Yeah, they were horrible.
I mean, it's not like he didn't recruit them guys either. But I'm saying, Dobbs is the reason they had any chance of winning any of those games.
Right.
And look, I'm a big Dobbs fan, but it's no offense. Dobbs wasn't the greatest passer in the world. I mean,
that's fair to say.
Probably not going to be much in the NFL either. I mean, it depends what Mike Tomlin can do with him. But as far as Georgia, I want to know is they going to be able to continue that recruiting at that running back position? Because that looks like both Michelle and Chubb who are big parts of that offense.
Now that will hurt. That's for sure.
Now, I mean, Georgia, over the consistency of years, they've always had running backs after running backs after running backs. And I'm sure there's a bunch of running backs. They're like, hey, this is the school to go to. And he's keeping that kind of. He's kind of got a mixture of both spread and pro going.
Yeah.
So Georgia's definitely got an opportunity to keep running the table. My problem is, imagine that was a pro team.
Yeah.
And that would legit be a consistent dynasty going through. So, then you get to keep Michelle and Chubb and everybody else.
Now, Zach, he responded. He said, and Hurts can play H-back, but Najee Harris is the starter for sure. Yeah, Najee's definitely going to start. But I did read a report. I can't remember where it was from, but I did read a report that Jalen Hurts was reportedly switching to H-back, which honestly wouldn't surprise me. As fast as he is and as big as he is, wouldn't surprise me. Now, he's definitely not going to start, but that man is an athlete, period. Yeah. I mean, he's an athlete.
Most definitely. And I was looking at the video, and I was like, this sounds crazy, but I can honestly see it happening, is that you can switch him to the other side of the ball and have him play safety. He's fast enough. He's tall. He's fast enough. He has the athletic ability, they say. The only thing is you have to teach him technique on how to line up. And you got to think he's a quarterback. He's probably going to know 9 times out of 10 what the quarterback's going to do. Let's not forget, he does have a great arm. So he knows, like, okay, downfield coverages, maybe I need to do this and that. That just comes with coaching, like how you said. That just comes with coaching and what you can do. But that's something.
That's a drastic change, especially in the SEC. Like
he's definitely making a change. He's gonna be the junior this year. He's definitely making a change. He's gonna come to dreads too.
He already did. Yeah, I saw that. Well, I mean, but that's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he transfers out, just because I think he probably could start at a lot of different schools at quarterback.
He would just have to sit that year.
And that would be the problem.
Depending on what's I'll say depending on what.
And if he doesn't have
unless he went JUCO, he could play immediately.
Mm-hmm. Unless he went somewhere that guaranteed that he's going to start his senior year, then for him it might not be a beneficial for him to transfer. Now, if he was going to be a sophomore this year,
he's kind of a year late, basically. Yeah. That's the problem.
I mean, this is wrong. We've seen guys, make that switch before. Braxton Miller did. Mm-hmm. We've seen guys do it in the NFL.
Yeah,
Third party, yeah.
Zach writes, Saban has to do him a favor and change his position. Hurts isn't an NFL QB, and keeping him there as a backup doesn't do him justice. I agree with you there. Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to be an NFL caliber quarterback, just because he's got the athleticism, but he doesn't have the consistent accuracy that you need. He can make big time throws, but not necessarily on a consistent basis, and that's what they look at the NFL level. Mm-hmm. And I do agree with you. I think he probably will change positions. It's just where and what school.
I mean, he's 6'2", so if he wants to go ahead and hop out to the outside,
he could. That would make
like.
sense to me.
That's what I would like.
Yeah, I think safety is a little bit of a stretch just because of the technique and the difference in quarterback. And you got to be able to tackle. And your quarterbacks usually don't tackle.
Well, my cousin did that in high school, but high school is different.
Yeah. Different. And it's SEC football.
It's SEC.
Yeah.
So. But I think give him a spot. Or some 5-star.
No. It was just a fun idea I had. But I do like the idea of wide receiver. I think if it was my money and I was to bet, I think he would stay just off his personality. It seems like he loves Bama.
Oh yeah. He's like all about Bama.
Yeah, so that's what I said. If it was, I think he would stay. I just think he might change positions. But like you said, what 2 positions or like that's sort of what I just got. Like I don't know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty much said like. He's committed to Tuscaloosa, so I don't see him leaving. But I think that would help him a little bit. But he could end up at Scuba, EMCC, playing out there with Buddy. Actually, I don't know if he's still there, but whatever. So yeah, I mean, I think Georgia is going to be a team here in the near future that's going to be dominant, especially in the East, as bad as the East is most of the time. I mean, it's just true.
That is, I don't think there's been a year where they've had 3-4 teams that actually didn't.
Hey, Vandy's sneaking up on him. I'm telling you. No, hey, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Vandy and Derek Mason is a very underrated coach. Like he's got like what is it? I think 7 4-stars.
I mean, shoot.
I've been behind Vandy enemy lines. I know what he does. No, legit. I've been in their press box and I've met a lot of guys there. I've met him before, and I mean, you can definitely see he's well respected by the team.
Yeah.
Problem is, he just doesn't know how to win big games. I mean,
neither does Butch Jones, but he
loses to bad. Butch Jones did too, but he loses to some bad teams, or he struggles with it. You notice when they play like WKU,
but somehow he beats Tennessee. I mean, he beats and he beat Georgia.
When he beat Georgia
last year, or not? Maybe not last year.
Last season,
the year before.
I think it might be the year before. I can't remember.
They definitely go down.
No.
Oh no.
So look, they have a consistency problem.
Yeah.
And now that quarterback, he's getting that was a problem because a couple years ago he was just a freshman, and I think that's Pat Sherman's son.
Yep. It is Pat Sherman's son.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
It is.
He's never, his dad on his boat too. His dad know how to coach quarterback, so I'm sure he's getting from both sides. But you're all right. Vandy does have a chance to, they always got a good defense. Mm-hmm. Now the problem is that defense can't stop out.
It's just an offense. They gotta step up on offense. That's for sure.
And also,
they're getting my guy from Pearl, Keyshawn Vaughn. He's playing because he had to sit out because he was in Illinois. I think he's straight. That's just because I'm biased. We don't team in high school hold him 100 yards.
I feel you. Yeah.
So we got to brag about that. But I think
they didn't want to play Hillsborough. They were too scared.
Will. I mean, but that
just so y'all know, Chandler went to Hillsborough, so he's gonna talk a little trash. Yeah. I went to Beach, so I went to school with Jalen Hurd when we went state and all that. You went to Stratford. He played
us out the first time we played him, but the next year we came back and we took y'all down.
Yeah.
We upset at Beach, bro.
I know.
Upset city.
I know.
And then we got our first home playoff game in 10 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think Georgia is definitely on the way up. I think they're going to probably raise some eyebrows this year, and probably for the next couple of years, they're going to be a really good team. And I'm not necessarily the biggest NBA fan, but I know y'all love the basketball and all that.
That's more Darius.
That's Darius. Okay, well, Darius.
I mean, I watch it every now and then, but.
Okay, but I think we definitely need to talk about Cleveland and how they pretty much just put the Swiffer through the house the entire over the course of the week or whatever it was, trading away 6 guys, getting 4 in return, going younger, going out, and a pick.
Their first run, not the Brooklyn pick, but they traded their first run.
Yeah, they gave that away, but they also got a pick in return as well. Went younger, went more athletic. I'm just curious to see what happens this season with LeBron being a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they've said, you know what, we're going to help you out, we're going to get younger, we're going to get more athletic, does he leave because teams have made cap space available for him? Or does he say, you know what, I respect what Cleveland's done for me. I appreciate that they've tried to help me out with the younger pieces. I should stay.
That's been the biggest question for me all year.
I know. Because I can really look at it and say, you know what, yeah, Cleveland went younger, but let's look at LA. They're really young, and they got some ballers out there. I can see LeBron going out. Lonzo ballers, yeah. So yeah, LeBron is going to Lakers hands down. I hope so. I like that storyline. I think it's great. Now, obviously, that's gonna hurt his legacy in Cleveland, and they're gonna hate him all over again. But
yeah.
I mean, could you imagine LeBron and LeVar Ball on the same team?
I would laugh.
Oh, could you? The press conferences?
He didn't even mention Lonzo. He just said, not
Lonzo. Lonzo can play. No, let's not get it mixed up. Lonzo can play. When he's healthy, Lonzo can play. But LeVar, that mechanic with LeBron being the alpha male that he is and LeVar being the alpha male that he is, oh my God. That is just waiting for comedy. Pure gold everywhere. I'm excited for that.
I mean,
man.
Did you happen to see the thing with LeVar Ball and Kevin Hart?
Yes, that was hilarious.
It's actually like a 15-minute clip too on YouTube. That thing was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. If y'all haven't seen that, y'all need to look up that video of it's a sitcom.
Yeah, something Kevin Hart's doing. Yeah.
Oh,
that thing is hilarious.
Yeah, y'all definitely need to look that up if y'all haven't. It's a video where LeVar and Kevin Hart are pretty much sitting in bathtubs just talking.
They're in an ice bath. He did it with Blake Griffin too.
Yeah, Blake Griffin.
But I mean, it was definitely fun. I mean, the thing is, like, LeVar Ball's getting in there. You know, he's actually cold. I thought he was gonna shake it off. Like, nah, this ain't nothing to me.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, he's not gonna show any kind of weakness.
I mean, he kind of did.
You know, that's how he is.
But I mean, but now Kevin Hart like, nah, I'm not. Nah, I ain't sitting deep. Now the funniest thing was when he asked him who was his favorite sword, who was his least favorite. And I already know who his least favorite is, and I already knew it was gonna be LaMelo.
Yeah.
And then he was like, he said, is it the middle? Kevin Hart asked him, is it the middle child? He's like, nah. He's like, cause he said, I know why, cause he's just like me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know it ain't Lonzo. He loved the mess out of Lonzo. He's like, so it's LaMelo. It's definitely LaMelo. I'm like, bro, this is too.
That's hilarious.
Brandon, our loyal viewer every week, says, I'm saying LeBron and LeVar is a sitcom in the making. LOL. I can't wait for that. And the thing about it is, like, if let's say LeBron does end up in LA, that's a pretty solid team. I mean, you got Brandon Ingram. He's been putting on weight. He's not looking like a walking stilt every day anymore. You got Lonzo, who's a good ball distributor. You got IT on the bench. Now,
he's gone. They're not bringing IT back.
You don't think so?
No, I wouldn't even bring IT.
Now, I will say,
LeBron got him back.
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to. Is if LeBron goes there and if IT is still there, that's going to be a mechanic that probably won't work out because one of the biggest reasons IT is not in Cleveland is because of LeBron because they didn't get along at all, and IT was calling everybody out in interviews and stuff. He was calling them out.
Yeah, and IT's not like a good team.
Yeah, he doesn't hold his tongue at all. He's very much about him, and that's pretty much it.
And one thing on IT, I think he's going on maybe 30-ish, or if he's not already 30, I mean, a 5'9" point guard.
Yeah.
A lot of teams not really one. Lakers aren't keeping him. They just got him just so they could free up a lot of cap. Because one, they want to bring in LeBron. They want to possibly bring in Paul George.
Yeah, that's what Zach just mentioned.
Oh, they don't bring Paul George. I also like the Thunder. So
Yeah.
And big news tonight with that. Russell Westbrook and Melo are cleared to play.
Hey, that's gonna be a big game.
Good game.
And then in 2019, they could possibly try to go beat Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
So
Jimmy Buckets is my dude. I love watching Jimmy play. He's a beast.
Good player. He's kind of whatever. I don't know what happened with him. When he started going to LA a lot more, he definitely changed from when he was like on his rookie contract.
Yeah. Well, I think the entire thing with LeBron is just such an interesting thing in terms of his legacy. Because if he leaves again, could you imagine Cleveland?
That's what I was saying. That's why I was like, I don't know if this man gonna leave. That's the only thing that's holding me back. But it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like do you need to change the front office because people are calling out Dan Gilbert and all that stuff?
Well, but that's the thing though.
That's his fault.
But the thing about it is supposedly Dan Gilbert and LeBron don't get along.
Exactly. Like,
but the thing about it is Dan Gilbert is giving him the pieces. So
exactly.
Dan is trying to help him.
Yeah.
But I don't know how LeBron is responding to it. That's the problem.
But I mean, what we see, like, as far as like this game that happened this past week, he was happy on the sideline. As far because he been told like after the injury, like I think him and D Wade talked to us just like was in the press conference. He said, no, we don't have a team now, we have a squad. So I mean, it's just like, okay, maybe he's feeling more optimistic about this team because they got younger.
And Zach says, and the Lakers could get Paul George, which you touched on. That's also a really big part of this entire equation. And then Brandon says he's a Lakers fan, and he's also heard that LeBron's best spot to go to is San Antonio. Which they can do it. They cleared the space to, but do they have the bench to help him? That's my question. Because they're getting old.
Well, one, Tony Parker, Paul Gasol, and Manu Ginobili days are over.
Yeah.
I mean, the Spurs have already made that transition to DeJounte Murray.
Mm-hmm. Now, Kawhi and LeBron on the same team.
That'd be nice. But
yeah.
My thing is, does LeBron want to go to the West, knowing how much competition? I mean, he runs the East.
Yeah.
He runs it. I mean, I don't know.
Toronto's good this year, though. And Boston. Boston's going to be real good next year.
Well, my thing is, there's a lot of people. I've seen the Spurs pop up a lot, him and Kawhi, but I'm not going to feel it.
Yeah. Well,
Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they two stay.
I don't know if they've got the cap, though, because they've got so many first-round picks.
Yeah, them guys on rookie contracts. They didn't pay.
Yeah, but they're going to have to pay them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, eventually. But LeBron won't be taking 1 year deals. It's not like he's signing a 5-year, $230 million contract.
Mm-hmm. Zach says, I think LeBron decided he's leaving when Kyrie got dealt.
I think he was leaving before that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that's another thing. Kyrie, he looks like a genius in all of this.
He does.
To be honest, because he was like, you know what? I'm a dog. Like, I can go wherever I want and play and stand out, and wherever I go, we're going to take off. And Boston, they brought in all these pieces together, and it worked perfectly. LeBron, I kind of agree with that, kind of don't, because the thing about LeBron is he's also one of these guys where he wants to be the number one guy. And rightfully so. He's the best player in the world, hands down. But I think that he also needs a team around him. He is not one of these guys that wants to lead the team by himself. Like, he has to have roles. He needs to make sure that all his teammates understand their roles and are willing to accept it, and that's when his teams really thrive. Going back to Miami. Yeah, that's why that team worked. Was because
he needed his Miami crew back.
Yeah, because he had his three-point shooter with Ray Allen. He had the all-around player in Dwayne Wade. He had the big men down low. They were all willing to work.
Shane Betty.
Yeah. And Birdman.
But we can see, like, whenever that went away, like a prime example of like when no one on the team was doing them was the first stint that he had in Cleveland. Whenever they like went to the finals and got split.
Yeah.
So I mean, it can happen again, if they don't get them pieces around.
Let's see. Brandon says, but they have Pop. That's chemistry. I do agree. Pop is just one of the greatest coaches ever.
My thing is with that, I don't think LeBron would want to. I mean, I think he respects the hell out of Pop, but I don't think he would want to be coached by somebody like Greg Popovich because LeBron likes controlling the coaching.
Yeah, personality, that would work.
That's the reason why he got Tyronn Lue in there and got David Blatt out, because David Blatt was telling him, no, you're going to end down the pass. You're not taking the game with a shot. Yeah. LeBron was overstepped and he said, you got to be kidding me. I'm taking this game with a shot.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the thing. Let's look at LeBron's coaches. He had
Mike Brown.
Yeah, Mike Brown.
I love Mike Brown, man. That's when I used to like the Cavs.
He had
before LeBron left.
I like Mike.
Yeah, he had the coach in Miami, Spoelstra. He's got Tyronn Lue and David Blatt. None of those coaches have the same personality that Pop does. Pop is this is my team. I'm a very militant kind of person. I'm the alpha dog, and you're going to listen.
Yep.
LeBron's not going to do that.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, I mean, it might be nice on paper, LeBron team up with Kawhi, but I don't see it.
I don't think they have the team outside of Kawhi that will attract LeBron either.
Mm-hmm. Because that's why Kawhi's pissed off with the Spurs. Because there's been a lot of reports
that he was mad.
That this isn't a desirable destination to come to if you're a free agent. Yeah, they got LaMarcus Aldridge. Aldridge started BSing last year. Mm-hmm. Pop finally put his foot up his butt, and Aldridge started listening. Now Aldridge is having
all-star year.
Yeah. But I don't think LeBron, because he's never had a coach like Pop, I don't think he's ever going to take the back seat and let Pop do his thing.
And LeBron's 33 or whatever. Yeah. I mean, he's at the age. He's I'm ready to have fun and go try to get a title.
Yeah. I think ultimately at this point in his career, he's chasing Jordan, which I understand because that's what everybody's doing. But that's what I'm saying is he's looking at it at this point like I'm 33. I played 15 seasons plus all of my postseason and all of the Olympics and all offseason, all that stuff. I've got a lot of wear and tear on my body right now. I need to win now. So he's going to go to a team that is a piece or two away from winning. And I think that's why I'm not saying the Lakers have a chance, but they've got enough potential in youth that they probably could.
My thing with the Lakers is their players are really young. I don't know if LeBron makes them say if it's.
But they will all follow him too, though. Yeah, because they're younger.
The thing is, what if LeBron is the only one? Say Paul George stays in Oklahoma City, then it's just LeBron with the Lakers. That team's not beating Golden State. That team's probably not even beating Houston.
But that's another thing. Golden State is going to lose one of their guys this year, and they're probably losing Clay, if I had to guess.
And Clay's like even when Durant signed on there. A little hoe. He signed on, it was like he was like, I'm not losing my touches. I'm not, not for him. So Clay's definitely got that mentality. His dad's probably got it better than him too. Look, you still a stud. You go get your money. Forget whatever the Warriors are doing. They done won 3 rings or 2 rings, however. Then they won. You go get it.
Yeah, and he can. Just because of how good of a shooter he is and whatnot, I mean, he could definitely do it. But that's the thing is, will LeBron take on the challenge of going to the West? And will he? I don't know if he will, because he looks at it like in the East, I've got Boston, I've got Toronto, I've got the Wizards who are pretty good, but they're not there.
They're not there yet.
Yeah, and I think John Wall's probably not going to be there for longer because he's not happy there, supposedly.
I don't know. They want to get Boogie Cousins up there just so him and John Wall can.
New Orleans is not letting him go.
Well, that kid might say it's something else. But no. I know it sounds like Boogie really likes playing with it.
Yeah, that's not happening. I think he's going to be there. But John Wall's supposedly not happy, and the Wizards aren't there anyways, even with John Wall. So if he leaves, they're done. So LeBron looks at it like he's got Toronto, who's pretty damn good. He's got Celtics, who are really good and are going to be good for a long time. Mm-hmm. That's the main 2 teams that he's got to worry about. If he goes out west, you got Golden State, you got Houston, you got you got team after team after team after team.
I mean, and then you look at the bottom teams; they're not bad either. Jazz are going to be pretty good with Donovan Mitchell, especially.
They won 10 straight.
Yeah, I mean they've been playing extremely well. I mean, you still got other teams. You got the Nuggets that could possibly be on the rise now. He's probably not worried about those 2 teams in particular, but those are still teams that are coming up. You got the Trailblazers.
Yeah, it's just I really don't see LeBron taking that. But let's see what Zach says. Zach says LeBron will only go to the Lakers if Paul George comes. Okay, if Paul George confirms he's going to LA, and I think that's a big part of all that. If Paul George goes, it's almost a lock he's going to go. I think that's a fair statement because they've got so much youth. Paul George brings that veteran scorers mentality, and he's a pretty good 2-way player. Mm-hmm. If LeBron goes, if Paul George goes, LeBron's going, I think, 100%. But if he doesn't go, I still think LA still makes sense, especially since they've got cap room to play with. And even if they do sign LeBron, they still have cap after that.
Yeah.
So they still have a little bit of money to wheel and deal and bring in some more guys also. Maybe not a Paul George, but, a couple role players or somebody like that. And LeBron loves his role players. So I wouldn't be surprised if they still do that.
Bring the GOAT James Jones back, bro.
Oh my, James, hey, that's his favorite teammate.
What about if LeBron comes to Memphis?
Man, you know what I would do?
They had no money for that. They just paid Conley the richest contract in
We need
NBA
to
history.
get rid of our GM, man. Chris Wallace needs to go.
Yeah.
Chris Wallace needs to
But
go.
how wild would that be?
If LeBron goes to the Grizz, him and Mark Gasol and Mike Conley, I
I
ain't
think
gonna lie.
half
I
of
would
the
be so happy.
I think about half of the journalists would be going crazy.
Half of us in the
Yeah.
sim would probably will be like,
Rusty,
Wow.
Rusty, bro.
oh yeah, me and him be doing backflips.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all be doing backflips. It's everybody on NSC crew doing backflips.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
But I think if I had to choose for a team to LeBron go to in the West, and I'm surprised I'm going to say it, but I don't know as far as how the cap room is looking, but Houston, I think that they're small out there starting five. Their weakest advantage is their weakest link in the starting five, small forward. Trevor Reeves. I mean, but Trevor Reeves, he's not a bad player, but LeBron, Trevor Reeves,
They got the talent too.
Oh yeah.
Like, could you imagine like a defense trying to cover LeBron, James Harden, and Chris Paul?
Ryan Anderson too, Clint Capella. Oh my goodness.
Like that pick and roll offense, bro.
And Harden who can dish the ball, Chris Paul who can dish the ball, LeBron who can dish the ball. It's like that team is almost.
And
like
that team defensively is actually still really good too. Like when you think about it, like Chris Paul can D up, even for a small guy. He
I
can
mean,
D up.
look,
Still
Paul was locking up Durant
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, Durant
Hilarious.
is
I love
a foot taller than that man.
Mhm.
And he couldn't hit a shot over. I'm like, dude, why did you miss
Now,
shots over Chris Paul?
I know the common meme joke is James Harden can't play defense, but when he actually tries, he's not horrible. He's not great, but he's not
I
horrible.
just prefer to play offense.
serviceable. He's serviceable at times. I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to lock up anybody, but when he does try and puts in effort, he's not horrible. And they were talking about that on 104, not 104, first take. They were talking about LeBron going to Houston because Stephen A. brought it up, and he was like, this is a surprise pick that maybe nobody's noticing right now. But, or not Stephen A., Max Keller.
Max, yeah.
He brought it up. He was like, their GM is a genius, and he has the ability to wheel and deal and clear the space that they need to bring in LeBron. So that's also a really good point right there by Darius as well. And that would be a very entertaining team to watch. That would be amazing. I think if LeBron goes to Houston, I'd give him a shot against Golden State, to be honest. Because they got all the talent they need. It's just, can they rebound and can they defend? I
mean, I give Houston a shot now. I don't know.
I give him a shot now.
Like you said, I don't know their cap situation and how they can afford LeBron being one to go there. But hey, that'd be one of his boys on the banana boat.
The banana boat.
But my thing is, everybody keeps talking about LeBron, and when they mention LeBron, they say that he's going to need a max deal. And I think LeBron
going to go sign a 1 year or 2 year deal or a playoff.
That's what I'm saying.
He's doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if LeBron goes anywhere, he's going to take a 1 year deal, and he's going to take a pay cut because he wants to win. And he's shown that he's willing to do that, too. He did it in Miami. So, if he goes anywhere, I bet you he says, you know what? I want to go to a team that's loaded with talent that only needs one or two more pieces. I'm willing to take my cut to get us to that level, and we can make this happen.
Seriously, Cleveland's like, I'm not Cleveland. Miami's the only place I think he signed like a long-term deal.
Mm-hmm. And he even took a pay cut there. That's what's crazy.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's like this could go a multitude of different ways, but any way it happens, because it's LeBron James, it's a heck of a story. Anywhere he goes is going to be entertaining. And I think that this season, because of his age and because of his wear and tear, it makes it that much more interesting because you know he's going to go to a team that's got a chance to win. And if he goes to the West, that'll silence all of the people that said LeBron would never make it in the West because he's going to show up and he's going to say, okay, fine, I'll go to the West, and he'll probably do pretty well because he's LeBron James.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not a LeBron fan, but the man is the greatest basketball player on the earth by far.
I agree.
No question. In my opinion, no question.
I agree.
Not ever, obviously. MJ the GOAT. But
what you talking about, man? Kwame Brown is the greatest basketball player on earth.
Well, I was gonna say Brian Scalabrine, but you know,
Brian Scalabrine, yeah, he's
Brian Scalabrine the GOAT.
top 3, top 2 of all time.
Yeah.
Potentially number 1, you know.
Every time I Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown.
Yeah,
Have you seen Stephen A. Smith's Kwame Brown impression?
Oh my
Bro, I was rolling. Kwame Brown. Yeah. Perfect. All right, so good, bad, ugly. This is our segment that we do at the end of every show to wrap it up. This is my man Chandler's segment. He came up with it. Shout out to Chandler. So yeah, what you got? Good, bad, or ugly?
All right, so actually, then this isn't my real good, but let me get into it. One of them was OKC. The fans chanting, "We love Paul." You know, then when he was going to the free throw line, saying, we want him back in OKC. Now, whenever Russ leaves, that's when I'm going to be done.
Yeah, no.
I mean, whenever that happens, whether it's retirement or he goes to another team. I mean, Thunder like that other team I had in basketball. I mean, it's still a big Chicago Bulls fan too. So we got a lot of things we're trying to work out. I don't know why they're still trying to win games. We're trying to get a freaking #1 pick. But anyway, but my real good for the week, LeBron James, man. We were just talking about him, but the tear he went on like over the last week. Against the Timberwolves, he had 37 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists, and hit the game-winning shot over Jimmy Butler with the nice fadeaway. I'm bad for that part, man. I don't know what in the world the Timberwolves were doing. Yeah, they out here having, all these guys in the backcourt, like, they're not going to hit a full-court shot. If anybody's hitting it, it's LeBron, and he's all the way in the front court. And then against the Hawks, he had 22 points, 12 rebounds, 19 assists. Against the Celtics, 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. So he practically averaged a triple-double over the course of 3 games. Yeah. So my good, LeBron James.
LeBron James, my favorite. One of my favorite players. Him and Mike Conley are my favorites.
I know you know about that good.
Fair enough. Like I said, that was my good. My good was like actually the game where they played on Sunday against the Celtics. It seemed like LeBron was he was sort of like I said, he seemed like he was happy that he just said we're younger, re-energized. And also I had another good is that MT won this past weekend in basketball, so that's good. I think it was 20-3, 19-3, something like that in that area. Nick King,
we got 5 losses. Yeah, we got 5 losses.
Fair enough, I think so. Don't quote me on it. But anyway, Nick King is playing like a phenomenal Conference USA Player of the Year this year, averaging over 20 points, and then Giddy found his stroke this past weekend. Yeah, and then Chase Miller hit his first shot. Everyone loves it.
Yeah,
the highlight, the MTSU highlight of the week. So that was my good.
Well, you took mine. I was gonna say Chase Miller. The video that Kevin made,
hilarious.
I was rolling. So shout out to Kevin Martin. That was hilarious. You get a gold medal for that one. So yeah.
Well, we're 25 on the 7 game.
Yep.
First in the conference.
What up, MT?
All right, so for my bad, I'm giving it to Michael Lombardi for getting ripped by Jason Kelsey during the Super Bowl speech. He was legit calling out Doug Peterson about being the worst head coach and worst qualified head coach. And Jason Kelsey absolutely ripped him throughout absolutely throughout the entire speech he gave. Look, Jason Kelsey, man, that dude is a speaker. My goodness. I don't know if his brother Travis is anything like that.
Oh yeah, he is.
Oh yeah.
But just the way his voice was, you could just hear it. He was he probably was ready to snap Michael Lombardi's neck.
Yeah. Why would you say that? I mean, why? In that context?
And my thing is, Michael Lombardi, nobody likes you. Yeah. Nobody respects you. You're always tweeting out something that's got no relevance, or if he tweets out something that says something, you can guarantee the opposite is going to happen. Yeah. So if anything,
major L.
You can bet against whatever the heck he winds up tweeting out.
Yeah. Fair. Lombardi starts with L for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
L. Okay. My bad is my pockets. And I'm gonna be serious about this. We talked about this earlier. You said
I know you're not gonna do the retro threes again. I swear you do the retro threes again.
No.
I'm so dead.
Listen, it's not even those. It's a whole bunch of shoes coming out.
Oh my god!
Hey, look,
he's not a part of this segment no more.
I haven't been.
You're on probation. Nope.
All right, I'm on probation. So apparently I'm on probation. I can't announce my bad, but I do have a good.
All right. My bad is Demo not coming up with any good relevant topics.
That is relevant?
No, it's shoes, bro. No,
it's a sports podcast, not a shoes podcast.
Oh my god! All right, nah,
they go hand in hand. Bro.
Yeah,
sneakers and sports go hand in hand. Come on
now. All right, for my ugly of the week, I couldn't remember it, but I finally figured it out a little bit before the show. It was the Tennessee Vols getting blown out by Alabama basketball.
Man.
Can't beat them in football, and for whatever reason, can't beat them in basketball. Now, Alabama's got a good team.
Sexton, man.
Yeah, they got.
He's first round talent.
And the coach, the coach is really good. Avery. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
He's what? Yeah,
he used to be
I
the
can't remember his name.
Mavericks coach. But yeah, UT wanted to get blown out by 18 points. We're ranked 15 and wound up losing to Bama. Come on, UT sports get it together. I know how to beat Bama in something that's not like swimming.
Yeah, it's something like swimming. I'll be back.
No.
My ugly is that the NFL season is over, guys. We have 29 more weeks until
R.I.P.
R.I.P. the dry spell of the NFL that we're having. So I mean, we got 29 weeks till football, man.
All right, look, man, good thing you got free agency coming up in a month.
That's like Christmas.
You got the combine
and the draft.
and you got the draft. I mean, I love this part of the season, like when it gets into that part. That's one of my favorite times to watch it.
Yeah,
that's not actual Sunday football.
Yeah, I agree.
And he got training camp.
I love like watching film and like analyzing people for the draft and stuff. So I'm all about this part of the season too, even though you don't have football.
Yeah.
My ugly, I would say that mine has to be. Let me see. I just had it and then I forgot it. Oh my goodness.
That's why
I just had it. Yep. All right. I just had it.
Well, I'll go ahead and give you a second ugly for me.
Okay.
Jason went 1-5 on naming Frank Wright.
That's
we
right.
called him Wright. We called him Rick.
Rick. Well, it was Rick, like the college coach, Mark Rick. That's what I was thinking.
Does Rick spell his like that? Or is
I think he's got a T in it.
I think
it's
That's
the R-I-C.
Yeah.
R-I-C-H-T.
That's the problem.
Yeah, we don't.
Oh, all right. I got an ugly. All right. I can't remember his name, but he plays for the Cavs. He's that short little white dude that tried dunking and
Osman or something like that.
Osman,
He played in Turkey for 6 years.
Yeah, okay. So he intercepts the pass. He gets a fast break by himself. He's in. Is it Boston? It's not at home. I know that.
It was at Boston.
Yeah, it was at Boston. Intercepts the pass, goes all the way down court. Looks like he's about to throw it down. The announcer goes crazy. He's like, Osman intercepts the pass. He's running down court and he misses the dunk.
Open.
I mean, just hits rim and just bounces all the way out to out of bounds, and the crowd goes insane and they're laughing. Literally, it was one of the worst things I've ever seen because you could tell as soon as he took off, he was not dunking that ball. Like he barely got up.
That was funny.
Like barely. I mean, the rim hit his wrist when he was coming down. Like you knew he was not throwing that ball down, and it was one of the ugliest dunk attempts I've ever seen.
He tried, man.
He tried, but he failed very bad.
He needed one of those little trampolines that they be using for, when they have fans come out and try to jump on it.
Yeah, that's weird.
That was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And I thought it was hilarious because Boston was giving it to him. They were making fun of him, yelling, clapping, woo, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, it was hilarious.
Doing Boston things.
I was dying. So, yeah. Any final thoughts before we head out?
I'll start again.
Not much. Derek Johnson is apparently going to be getting cut by the Chiefs. They're not resigning him.
So,
we figured out who the Hall of Fame game is going to be.
Yep.
It's going to be the Bears and the Ravens.
Yeah.
You got Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher going into the Hall of Fame that week. So
I think it's
going to be a nice one. I thought it was going to be Philly. That's because they won the Super Bowl and Brian Dawkins.
Yeah. I think there's actually 2 games, though. I thought I saw that because when I got the update, it mentioned another game, too.
Oh.
I never heard of it.
I don't know, but I can check that.
Yeah, check that. I want to see.
Let me see if I can pull it up. It was from yesterday, so I might not be able to.
And then, we also got some potential cut candidates that NFL.com also came out with. And leading that list was Tyrod Taylor and DeMarco Murray.
For what?
Potential cut candidates
the
AFC. And DeMarco Murray and Tyrod Taylor were 1 and 2 on that list. We talked about it before a couple weeks ago about DeMarco Murray possibly getting cut.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a possibility. I think it's happening.
Yeah, it is.
There would be no reason to even bring him back. Now there are some other guys out here that they actually caught my eye, and that was Michael Crabtree and Sean Smith for the Raiders, and then
okay, so
yeah,
I could have
yeah, you're right. My bad.
what's his name? Muhammad Wilkerson. He's also one of those guys. So there'll be a lot of turnaround in the AFC. The NFC thing apparently comes out tomorrow, so we'll see what happens with that.
Dingo? Final thoughts, Dingo?
Man, ready for free agency, honestly. I want to see what move the Titans are going to do, man. I want to see if they're going to try to get McKinnon.
I'm right there with you. I'm hoping we get McKinnon, but I guess we'll see here in a little bit.
So we got to do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can get McKinnon out of Minnesota.
Yeah. If not, then maybe the draft.
Yeah, but I guess that wraps it up for today. You had a pretty good show so far. Demo's still on probation next week, just so we're clear. 1 week probation until you step up. This is 2 weeks running. You're shaking. You're hitting about 250.
I'm about 250.
Yeah, you
I'm below 500. I'm below 500.
In baseball, that's not terrible.
That's not terrible.
I'll put
but
him
he
at
needs
about
to-
197.
I need
But
to-
knows a lot.
Okay, Demo's hitting 197. We need
2 out of 6 is.
we need at least a 275.
Yes.
We need at least a 275.
I'm betting 3-3.
Not really. All right, so that's our podcast, 65 South Sports. We'll see you guys next week at 4:30 on Tuesday. Hit us up, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, whatever. Yeah, automatic also.
Support.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys next week.
Ooh, wait, we have an announcement coming. Jason has some small merchandise that we're going to be getting, so I'm excited for it.
Well, yeah, for us.
For us. But I mean, it's still going to be exciting so people can see it.
That's a surprise. We'll leave that for next week. See you guys.
Peace.